Hello there. Good evening. This is Nancy Ekpezu. Hello there. This is Nancy Ekpezu, the facilitator of the Facebook group Educational Administration Network, a group which I started about 2 months ago and which has grown to about 3,500 members worldwide. And it's my pleasure this evening to present on the topic professional ethics for educators. Please, if you're on with me now, I would like you to just share, tell me your name. I'm going to be inviting friends so that the more we are, the better. Yes, please. So I'm inviting some friends to join me here. Okay, so a bit about myself while we wait for others to join us. I'm Nancy Ekpezu, like I said earlier. I'm a school administrator in a group of schools in Lagos, and I've worked in schools across Nigeria. I've enjoyed the education. I've been in the education sector since the 90s, and I've enjoyed doing it so much over the years. In fact, in the past almost 23 years, I've been into education, and I must say that this is something I intend to do the rest of my life. I thoroughly enjoy seeing kids, getting the best education that they can, and teachers enjoying their jobs as well. Okay, so that is it about me. Please introduce yourself and tell me what part of the country or what part of the world you are viewing from. I think we just wait a little while we wait for others. We'll just wait a little. I would like to know if the audio is okay. Can you hear me where you are? Can you hear me? Is the audio fine enough? I can see there are 4 people already. Oh, thank you so much for joining. I'm trying to see that I connect so that I connect with a few more people, and then we can move on. Please let me know how the audio is. I'm very particular about that. I would really like to know so that I'm sure we're all, hearing. Oh, okay, very good. So Katika says the audio is fine. Can I hear from anyone else? Is the audio fine? Can you hear me from where you are? Please type in your name and tell us what you like. Where you're watching from. I can see. Okay. Okay, Christabel is already here. Sophia, thank you so much. I can see a few people. The audio is fine. Can I hear from anyone else? Is the audio fine? Can you hear me from where you are? Please type in your name and tell us what you like. Where you're watching from. I can see Okay, Christabel is already here. So okay, Christabel says it's very clear. Okay, that's great. Okay, so I can go on now. Others can join in later. So I can go on. Okay, I just wanted to be sure that we have enough people. Okay, I think with 5 we're fine, so I can start. Okay, so the topic for today is professional ethics for educators. And you may wonder why this topic now, why professional ethics for educators? Well, I've found that recently, there've been a lot of emphasis on teachers improving on their teaching methods, on stepping up to 21st century skills, and that is beautiful. There've been a lot of seminars on how to do it better, but we have found that there's a little gap that we need to fill because teachers are losing out, gradually losing, the trend is that teachers are losing on their professionalism. And so this evening, we're going to define what professionalism is, and then we're going to look at ethics. We'll look at professional relationship with our students, with parents, with our employers, with the management staff that we work with, and then with the community as a whole. Well, I must emphasize that when you are an educator, the whole world looks up to you because you're the daily influencer that children know in their lives. You're the role model. You're the one, you're the ones actually called to shape their lives, and the kids look up to you like a mini God. And so everything you do counts. Everything you do counts. Everything counts. So it is actually very important that we conduct ourselves in manners that whatever we leave the kids with will be something that we're proud to leave them with. Okay. Okay. So we're going to look at professional relationship with students now. Well, we come daily in contact daily with our students, and the way we conduct ourselves with them will determine whether they're going to respect us or not. And so as educators, we are called to actually mold these lives. And so we must conduct ourselves in a way that they actually respect us. They come in, and respect us, and our actions show that we're worthy of respect. A professional educator does not discriminate against students based on their race, color, age, gender, socioeconomic background, cultural background, color of skin, religion, political, whatever their families are, what political views their parents hold. All of these do not count when students are in your class or in your school. And so there's no room for discrimination at all. That is one point you must know as a professional teacher. You do not discriminate against the students in any way. You're expected to respect every child and treat them as equals, and also as bearing in mind their individuality. So that is one thing you must remember as an educator. To offer professional service, you must never discriminate against the children. Another is that it is your duty to actually ensure that every child's confidentiality is respected. If kids are in your class and some information is given to you to work with, it is not your place to go around spreading information about your students indiscriminately. Please treat every confidential information given you as things that you need to work with. They are just for you to carry out your job, and not for you to go, spilling out information about kids. It could be about their health, it could be about their family background, it could be things that, their parents have told you about them that you need to be able to work with. And so you're not permitted to do that at all as professional educators. Another is that you're not permitted to pick favorites. Professional educators do not pick favorites among the students. Every student is an individual, and it's so easy to get drawn to the ones who excel academically and behave excellently. But as educators, we are called to mold these kids, and we have no business picking favorites amongst them. Our duty is actually to ensure that we give our best to them and take note of how their learning styles and how they work, and be able to, adapt our style of teaching to be able to give the best that we can to them. Okay, so that is it. And then you need to draw boundaries also. Yes, it's so easy as 21st century educators. We are expected to create a conducive classroom, a conducive school atmosphere where the kids explore, to their best of their potentials come out. But in doing that, there's a thin line between being a friend to the kids and being friendly as a teacher. Your duty is actually to be their educator, to be their role model, to be their facilitator, their guide, not to be their friend. And so you're not called to be their chummy, get into their world to the level that you bring yourself down. No. You should build their self-esteem. You should respect them, but please draw boundaries as an educator, and be able to also You're not called, you shouldn't be visiting kids every weekend to find out how they're doing. That's not your duty. That's not what you're called to do. So draw the boundaries. And the male teachers, the male educators amongst us, sometimes, the girls are grown and begin to show features of maturity and development as they progress in their puberty years. Please draw the boundaries and be very professional in your relationship with them. Same goes with the males and females to males. There are some touches that are not acceptable in a school system, and so you should be able to know, or as an educator, where to draw the boundaries. Okay, so that is it. And then we're going to look at relationships with parents. Parents are actually, the school cannot do it all alone. As educators, we have to carry our parents along in everything we do. It is a homeschool connection, and it's very important that we actually carry parents along in everything that we do in school. But in doing so, there is a professional way to handle parents. And I want to say emphatically that hobnobbing with parents every weekend and partying with them, and trying to do everything you can to make them like you and losing your professionalism in the bit of being liked is not acceptable at all. So draw boundaries with parents, respect them. You should be courteous to parents and render excellent customer service, but please do not compromise with them. It is very wrong to treat parents differently because some of them maybe come from a different economic background, socioeconomic background than the others, or some are viewed better, they drive better cars, or bring in gifts to the staff. Every parent has equal rights in the school and should be treated, equally, with no discrimination to their socioeconomic background, to their political views, to their religions, or whatever it is. So they have a right to get information about the school, but please, in relating with them, also draw boundaries. Try as much as possible to keep the details about your school that they do not need to know. Parents have a right to know the mission statements of your school. They should know they should know the curriculum your school runs. They should know what you're all about, your methods of teaching, and the teachers who will be teaching your kids, and where the school is headed to, and so many other things. But there's every organization has its challenges, and the way we present the challenges of our particular organization to the parents matters a lot. So it's not expected of a professional educator to go running down the school to the parents in order to gain cheap favor. And if you happen to be one who goes home to the parents to do maybe home lessons, after school lessons, please keep it professional in all of your relationship. And I want to say that, please, it is not the duty of parents to give us gifts as educators. Okay, granted, some of them may want to come around and help, at the end of the school year, maybe drop a gift to show their appreciation. But please, it is not your duty to expect. It is not their duty to give you gifts. It's actually a privilege. It is out of their discretion that they do it. So it is wrong to start asking our parents for monetary returns. Oh, see how well we're doing. Can't you reward us? No, no, no. You're paid your salary, and you should be contented with that on your way to where you're moving up. But you should please keep it professional with them so that they respect you. Okay. So our relationship with colleagues. With colleagues, it is very important also that we draw boundaries. The same way we do not go spilling information about parents or about our students indiscriminately, we need to respect our professional colleagues. It's very important. You work in a team. In as much as sometimes you have a class to yourself or you take a subject, please always see yourself as part of a professional team that has a common goal of educating these kids. So it is not our duty to tear down one another. It's very unprofessional to be the one gossiping around school and going around, tail bearing and all over the place. It is not expected of professional educators. And then if you have anything, against a staff member, or if they go out of the ethics, please, there's a way you can actually report nicely to the authorities instead of pulling people down and cheering one another. and all of that. So it is very important that you keep it professional with colleagues, encourage them, motivate, be the one who gives information and resource to others. There's no point being a one-eyed man in the land of the blind and feeling like, you're the reservoir and of knowledge and you have to keep it all to yourself. No, no, no. You should be able to share information that is useful to your colleagues. You should be able to give out resources when you attend a course, out of the country or here, you should be able to train others and, carry them along. And when using facilities, please always be considerate of your colleagues. It's very important. Very important. Sometimes you share a common room or a staff room or the cafeteria. Please know that everyone has equal rights to all of the organization. Very important. Okay, so is it still loud? Can I get feedback? Is the audio still good? Oh, Christabel says, well done. Thank you so much. Thank you, Akin. Thank you, everyone who is watching. I really appreciate this and your input as well. I'll have time to have a look at all the comments that everybody is making. Okay, so now our relationship with management staff is very important. No school runs without a management team. Sometimes the owners may be part of the team, or sometimes they may not. But no supervisors, no management team would like to work with someone who does not keep to the policies of an organization. So as a professional educator, you are expected to actually, keep to the policies of your organization. If there are people that you report to, please define the relationship with them and know exactly how it works. What management team members usually expect from professional educators is input, going on, input into decision making, decisions or whatever is going on in the school, not to tear down what is going on and seeing them at the top and then we are just the teachers. No, 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 it doesn't work like that. So everybody has to be carried along, and if you think you're not, well, there is a room to actually walk up to your supervisors and tell them how you feel in a very professional manner. Okay, now to employers. Let's look at our relationships with employers. Our employers are very important in our lives. I know some of them could be quite funny and, very, it's not always very rosy with them. But you have to find a professional way of managing your employers. It is very important. Okay, if the policies, in fact, keep to the terms of your contract with your employer. It's very important. If your contract says you're going to do 2 years, please keep 2 years. And at the end, if you do not want to stay back, you should let them know on time so that they begin on time to find a replacement for your position. And also, if you should give ample notice before you leave. And give proper information before you even join an organization. Some people provide false certificates or, tell lies about their years of experience or say things that they would not want their employers to find out. It is a very wrong practice, and that shouldn't be found among, educators, because we are role models for the kids, okay? So always provide the right information for your employers at the beginning, and throughout your stay, in an organization, keep to the policies and the procedures. I expect also that, every organization has its policies and procedures. Please let them be clearly made known to the educators. If you're an employer watching this, and for the educators, please ensure that you keep to the terms of your contract. And make sure that if there are things in the policies that you're not comfortable with, create time with your employers to discuss them, because they expect you to actually abide with them. So if there's some things you're uncomfortable with, please create time to be able to actually discuss them. And then if you are not happy, or you see that there are things that are going on in your organization that you're not happy with, they don't go with your value system, I think it's a nice place to call it quits with the organization, but do it professionally when you're leaving. The truth is, sometimes you may not fit in everywhere, because some employers, believe me, are not really interested in being professional. I have to be very frank here. Some just want to start a school and bring people in and make money and milk, everybody dry. You have to identify such people. But if you're in an organization and everything that is done is unprofessional and unethical and truly goes against your values, I think sometimes it may just be nice to have a rethink and say very nicely that, you don't fit in here and you think that you need somewhere else to go. And there's an acid test I tell people: when you're leaving an organization, do you live in a way that you can always come back to that organization if there was a need to have you back? Would your employers be glad to have you back, in your organization? Would they be glad to hire you back? Because it's very important the way that you leave a place, very important. Okay, that is it. And then relationship with the outside world. Believe me, whether we like it or not, teaching is not a private practice. When you are an educator, a lot is expected of you, and the whole world looks up to you. I'm sure you've been at an event, maybe when you did, someone was smoking and puffing, and they said, "Oh, he's a teacher." And then someone goes, "What school does he? Where does he teach? I don't want my kids to go to that kind of school where such a teacher works." So you should conduct yourself. We are actually educators. We are role models, and we shouldn't limit our professional ethics to the classrooms. No, no, no. We're actually lights to the world. The whole world watches educators, whether we like it or not. From the way you drive your car, whether you're keeping to traffic rules and all of that outside, it all boils down to professionalism, because you don't want to scandalize, the profession that we all belong to. We want to uphold our ethics and have people respect, what we stand for. Okay, so I think I forgot to mention a bit what professionalism really is at the beginning, so I'm going to do that now. Professionalism actually refers to, the conduct, the acts, the what's expected of us by virtue of our profession, the qualities expected of us, and it implies that we render the quality of service that we render to people. So when we are professional educators, it's expected that we render excellent service. Excellence should sparkle in everything that we do. Okay, I'm going to go on now to what I'll term nuggets. Okay, nuggets for professionalism, nuggets for educators, nuggets for educators for professionalism. The first would be to keep it to have excellence in everything that you do. Let your last performance always be worse than your next one. In other words, let your next one always be far better than your last one. Always aim for excellence. Always. Excellence will, bring you promotion. That is what will help. Instead of, currying cheap favor here and there, please develop a passion to be excellent in everything that you do. In my school, the teachers usually, they will always tell you, "Are you sure that Miss Nancy saw that letter? It doesn't look like she's seen it," because they know I'm going to dot all the I's and cross the T's before it goes out, if my signature is going to be on it. And they'll tell you, "Oh, she's very professional. Don't take that to her. She won't sign it." We should have a standard for excellence in everything that we do. In everything that we do, we should cultivate a habit of excellence. Let's make excellence our watchword in everything that we do. And then our dressing as educators counts. Your image, the image that the kids see, it actually really, really counts. So as a professional educator, please make time to dress properly. If your school has a dress code, and this is to the administrators, please ensure that you actually have the policies clearly written out, and dress code should be included there so that it's clear to everybody what exactly is expected of them in the organization. So if you have, for example, your school says that it is actually suits they want, please keep to it and don't say, "Oh, my former school, we wear jeans every day." Every organization has its dress code, but I recommend usually that educators do the corporate casual. That is actually fine. But if your school insists on a tie, on a suit every day, please go by the rules, okay? Usually on Fridays, dress down, but that doesn't give us room to wear just anything. I think some schools do the traditional wears and some schools do jeans, maybe and something casual. But please avoid inscriptions that are not that are derogatory or that are not nice, and avoid, as ladies, avoid thin straps, that will reveal stuff that shouldn't really be seen in the classroom. Dress nicely. Care about your personal grooming. They're rebranding the educators, and the way people see us is changing. And we should be able to carry an image of professionalism in everything that we do. The kids look up to you, so dress in a way that, they will be able to emulate the way that you dress. Care about your personal hygiene, keep your nails clean and nice, wear cologne. Please bother about your breath, because you talk to children and no kids want teachers that have bad breath and some other not too nice odors coming from you. Remember, you spend a whole day with these children, and it matters that your grooming is really good. And then I'll recommend that you do not make hairstyles, maybe for the ladies, having blue all through and green. We could leave that to the pop artists and other people. But in our profession, I think there's some kind of discretion that we need. Discretion is the word, because I don't think any handbook would tell you, please do not wear rings on your nose. If an educator has 5 rings on their noses, then I think that there's something not too nice, because you're actually passing a message to the kids. Yes, dress nicely, look professional, be happy with what and do the best with what you have. Keep it professional generally. Know the right occasion for what clothes, depending on the events that you have in the school, or outside. And then, as professional educators, embark on continuous professional development. And you can never get enough training. You can never, ever get enough training. Make it a point to always develop yourself. Go out for seminars, go for workshops, go on trainings. I remember my first few years, in an American school that I worked, I practically didn't have savings. And my friends would laugh at me and be like, oh, Nancy, you're traveling again. It was either I was in Kenya, I was in South Africa, I was in one country training and doing stuff, just to make sure that, I got my skills, up to what I thought it should be. And I'm really glad, because those trainings paid off. And I'm glad to know, if you're in Nigeria, there are so many trainings going on now, a lot of conferences and seminars and workshops, and you may not have to spend as much, and you have it readily here. Read a book. Get resources, get on the internet, read and read and read, and move in the right circle of people who take their profession seriously. Because there's some people who do not even want to move up, and they don't want you to move up either. They're just complacent and happy with where they are. So please avoid such people. If you have to relate to them, do it in a way that you impact them, okay, instead of them rubbing up their negativity on you. It's very important. Okay, and then I would advise that you mind the substance abuse. I don't think there's something dignifying about an educator puffing cigarette in public or, in the school area. Please, any habits that you think you would not want the kids to learn from you, kindly stay away from it. That includes pornography, includes nicotine, excessive drinking, smoking, snuffing. There are some habits that are not productive, and I don't think it's wise to spend your hard-earned money, on such things. Anything that would not help the kids, that would not help you be the role model that we're called to be as educators, please stay away from them. That's my candid advice on substance abuse. Okay, so I don't know if you have any contributions. I've actually tried. Let me have a look at the comments that are coming in here. Oh, Emma is here. Oh my God, thank you so much, Emma. Emma was the front desk officer where I worked, in a school, in an American school in Calabar. She was such a wonderful person. Aki is here. Oh my God, thank you so much. Mfon Peter, Ifoma Okeke Obiora, Lila Naramide, Akin Latu Olusegun. Benka Delby, Tay Olatunji, Nathaniel Igori, Joy. Oh, Joy member Carrington. Joy was in a school where I was a school administrator in Abuja. Ifoma Okeke, Kuseme, Amanda, Blossom, Solomon, Christabel, my bosom friend of how many years now, Sarah Aga. Thank you so much, Sarah. Wow, thank you for the support. Oladapo Kolawale, Oluwafemi, Simi, Folaromi. I hope I pronounced your name well. I like to wrap my round around people's names because it's very important. And I share the Jude. Oh my God, thank you. I can't say thank you enough to Jude. He's been so supportive. I remember when I told him I was doing this and I sent a preview to him. His comments were really, really so valuable to me. Rookie Esagara. Okay, Rookie, thank you so much, Rookie. Thank you so much. Akin Benjamin, thank you, Akin. I understand you're a really, really good educator and everybody says such nice things about you. Thank you so much, Sophia. Sophia is here. Sophia, thank you so much. Nkemezike, thank you everyone who's made time to watch. And I don't know if you have comments or questions that I'll be able to take before we wrap up, because I planned this to be a 30-minute session, and I'm glad that I actually have been able to put a few points across. There's still, education, professional ethics for educators is a very wide topic, and I really cannot exhaust this in just 30 minutes, but these are just, little nuggets here and there that we can go by. And I hope this has been a useful session. I will actually appreciate feedback. And for those of you who will be watching later, this is the Educational Administration Network, and it's a group I started out of a passion to share from my experience and skills and knowledge acquired over the years, and learn from others. Remember, we should have an attitude to learn all of the time. I'm a learner, a lifelong learner, and I learn from kids. I learn from everywhere and everybody I come in contact with. So thank you so much. Do we have questions so that we can just deal with them briefly in the next few minutes before I wrap it up? Okay, Sophia has a question. Okay, when your school owner is, Sophia says, what do you do when your school owner is not acting professional? Actually, I've actually worked in schools where the owners didn't act professional. What I did was to take my own stand and not bend to them, because I've had to, I'm sorry to say this, but I wouldn't mention the name of the school. I've had to actually resign from a school where I thought that the owner just wasn't professional, especially towards the employees. In such a case, if you're in the management team, I'll advise that you actually make recommendations. And if this keeps going on, I think the ministries are beginning to rise up now and they listen to reports. Some school owners should actually be reported. And we look forward to a time in our dear country, Nigeria, where we could have, proper reports taken very seriously, because I must say school owners get into very unprofessional acts, very unethical, sometimes from admissions of children. Some schools will admit kids of 7 years in the secondary. If you walk your kids in there and take an entrance, they wouldn't mind because they just need the money. So we should have a way of reporting these people. I remember when I left the school where I wasn't happy, I wrote a lengthy recommendation for what I thought they needed to put in place. Whether they've done that or not now, believe me, I really, really do not know. So that is it. But there's not too much you can do sometimes as an employee, except maybe to leave. And I must say, quite a number of school owners are guilty of that. But I think if there's a place for, if every employee decides to be professional, then it will make it tough on the employers. Because really, I think it's because they find compromising employees. That's why they can't get away with all of this. If there are no eyes on them and the employees can actually rise up and report, then it makes it a little easier to handle. But it's a tougher case when the employers are misbehaving and going unethical and very unprofessional, and employees suck up to them. That's what we're talking about, keeping it professional and drawing boundaries. If you have a team of employees who know their onions and they're professional, it will be a lot easier to handle the employer. The employers are getting away with all of this because they know that they have employees who take just about anything. Okay, so do we have others? Okay, Katika is here. Oh, thank you so much for joining. Tolu Lokpe, Adenowo, Varissima. Thank you. Thank you, everyone who's been here. And it'd be nice that you share this video with others so that they get one or two things if you've been able to pick one or two tips from here. I may be rounding up soon because I planned this to be just 30 minutes. My intention wasn't to keep you for an hour. But if you'd like us to go the next 5 minutes, maybe you could respond. And if I get a yes from you, we could actually. Okay, okay. Sophia says, is there a professional organization we can report to? I think in Lagos, I know that the Ministry of Education is really rising up. I was with the quality assurance person at a program just a week ago, and I was so happy about all of the changes that are going on. I think there are even some numbers going around now that if there are problems in your school, you can actually report. So we are gradually getting there, okay? We're not there yet, but at least the journey has started. At least I know in Lagos that has actually, the process has been initiated, and I think a lot is going on already. So you could go to the quality assurance department of the Ministry of Education and lodge in a report there. I'm very sure that they will actually have a look into it. Oh, Olu, my Jack, thank you so much. I remember Olu said to mention something about exam malpractice. Yes, that actually boils down to integrity. We should maintain our integrity as professional educators, because being a professional educator goes beyond just acquiring a degree or a master's degree or a PhD in education. We should actually get our acts together apart from the certifications. And so it's actually lack of integrity that will make teachers want to, compromise in terms of ethics in exams. So exam malpractice is a no, 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 no. And any a teacher found in such acts should actually be dismissed summarily in any school that they work. Okay. Oh, Olu says they have not responded to my letter. Maybe you need to follow up. I think I have a name. Let me look for. There's one Mrs. Ronke. I'm trying to get the full name because she actually sounds very professional. I met her a week ago, and I must say I was awesomely impressed at all of the things that she had to say at the gathering. And I know it's a big challenge for the kind of system that we've had. I'm talking about Nigeria here, but I know that the changes has already begun in Lagos State, and we hope that it spreads to other states. I don't know what the other states are doing. I'm resident in Lagos, so I may not really have full knowledge of what's going on in other places. Mfon says, I can't hear you. Is that peculiar to you, Mfon, or is that to everybody? Uh-oh. Oli Ndukwem, thank you so much. Thank you everyone for watching. Okay, so I must say it's been a pleasure being on this broadcast. This is actually my first live seminar, and I've thoroughly enjoyed doing this. There's a whole lot more we could discuss, but I think time is actually running out. Like I said earlier, I intended this to be 30 minutes. We've done 38 minutes now. And so thank you very much for your time. Thank you. If you have questions, you can still post them. And if there are some that I need to find answers for you, honestly, I'll be very, very glad to do that for you. Okay, so thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you everyone for your time, for your contributions, and for inviting others. Please invite your friends. I would really appreciate that you invite your friends, or or maybe post this video on your page or on your profile so that others can actually view as well. And if you get to watch this later, please I would like you to join the Educational Administration Network. We are over 3,500 members already in just 2 months, and we are growing. And if there's any need to have on-site training or whatever, I'll look into that. I'm actually a very busy school administrator, heading a group of 3 schools, and with 1,000 kids and 100 students under my supervision, 100 staff members, and that's a whole lot. So it's only my spare time I find time to do this. and I cannot promise that I'll do it all of the time, but I will find time. And when I do my next seminar or live broadcast, I will actually let you know. I hope you've been able to pick one or two things here. And thank you very much. At the count of 3, I'm going to be logging out. Thank you once more. Thank you for your time. Thank you. 1.